Hey, good morning, Lou. This is January 24th, 2023, and the start of part 3 of the Anglia Street Rod project by Lou Buitrago. Let's see, when we left off, let me thank people who provided comments and trying to help us find the hinges that we're looking for. We're currently working with Hiropito, Smash Palace in New Zealand. We've been communicating with them and hoping to get something going on that. The other thing is I want to apologize for the past videos. My thumb keeps getting in front of the camera on the phone because it's up in the upper left corner. So now I have a bracket, no more thumb. So, Lou, you've been busy waiting for the body, which is being crated, we think?
Yeah, the body now is done and it's being crated. So, probably, if everything goes right, we'll have it by the end of the month.
Good. Coming up.
If they don't get any problems back there in California with the weather.
So, what have you been doing here?
Well, we just decided just to put this whole thing together. And so I put all the rotors and the discs,
The calipers?
calipers on, get all that stuff done.
I see we got flexible lines. And you did the front too?
Yeah.
Okay, calipers and flex lines bolted into the brake line tubing that was installed there before. Let's see what else. We still thinking about getting the engine from Blueprint?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're showing some is showing a delay. I don't know what the problem is with them. They keep moving the date back, and so just have to wait and see what Summit has to say.
All right. Well, this is the short segment. We'll be getting back to you as things develop further. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for the positive comments that you've been making. Hey, hello there. It's February 10th, 2023. Continuation of part 3 of the Anglia streetcar project by Lou Buitrago. We're kind of still waiting for the body, but the good news is that the body has been crated up. We've made arrangements for shipping, and we're expecting it somewhere, in the next week or two?
Hope by the end of next week.
Hopefully by the end of next week. In the meantime, Lou has been doing a few more things. If you look down here, you'll see that the brake assembly has been welded to the frame and about where it's supposed to be, which again is a little bit on the guessing side because we don't exactly have the body. The other thing we've been accumulating more parts, and there's one of the 2 mufflers that we're going to use, which will go, who knows, somewhere in that area, which we'll know better when we do the side extensions. And we've got set up clamp rubbers, right?
Yeah, this will go hanging. If we put the muffler right in there, thereabouts, or underneath a little bit. We don't know yet until we get the body and get the other outer piece built.
The side frame. Side frame wings, I guess we call them.
And once we get that done, then we pretty well know where the mufflers are going to hang.
Okay, so also we've been, again, part of the parts accumulation is that we're picking up a used Holley 650 CFM double pumper from eBay, and that's the rebuilding kit to clean it up and put it up to snuff. And sitting underneath it is the harmonic balancer, the 8-inch balancer with the degree marks sitting there. And what I didn't mention is that I did mention that we got the B&M Turbo Hydro 350, but we also picked up a torque converter, right?
Right.
Yeah, B&M torque converter, what, 2000?
2000, yeah.
2,000 stall. Again, this is not going to be a race car, it's going to be a street car. So 2,000 appears to be hopefully the correct amount. So what else do we have going? Anything, Lou?
Just, scrounging parts. Got the shifter coming for it.
Oh, okay, yeah, the shift linkage.
And
Now
odds and end pieces.
on the T, you had put an electronic drive indicator, remember that I helped you?
What's that?
You had a little thing that
Oh, yeah, for where it told
told gear you in.
what Gary's in, yeah.
Are we going to do something like that too?
Yeah, I probably might do one. Yeah,
Okay.
they make it also for on the floor or on the dash.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's down the road.
All right, so probably the next time we come online will be when the crate arrives, when the body arrives.
Okay.
And I'll be here when that comes before you open it up
Okay.
to join in the thrill of looking at the body, the body parts. Okay, so that's it for now. A little bit of a shorty one. Till the next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hi there. This is the Lou Buitrago and Anglia Street Rod Project. It's February 15th, 2023. And we're busy rebuilding a Holley carburetor that we picked up on eBay. And we went to eBay because a brand new 650 double pumper, 650 CFM double pumper, runs about $600, which is a bit much. And Holley has a refurbished portion that sells refurbished used Holleys. However, they're not in stock. So we got this off of eBay. And we're in the process of cleaning it up and rebuilding it with a kit from Holley. A couple of problems. The throttle body where it screws up into the upper half of the carburetor is missing 3 screws. The primary and secondary metering blocks, these things right here, were on reversed, which doesn't work very well. And the parts that came out of it, as you can see, indicate that it was rebuilt at some time with quality parts. But be it as it may, we're on the way putting it back together. It may not be as pretty as a brand new one, but it'll be functional. So another update. What's the update? Oh, what did we order, Lou?
Ordered a beater.
Oh,
And
sheet
this
metal.
is going to be the stand for the beater. And they bought it from
Eastwood?
Eastwood. And they make a hand crank jobber. But the only bad thing about a hand crank is going to take 2 people. So I decided to go ahead and buy the one that's motorized. And that should be coming here probably by the end of this week. And I'll get this thing all welded up and painted, and I'll be able to mount it on there. And then, because I think still haven't figured out what we're going to do about a floor. So, and then I'm going to need wheel tubs. And so might try making some wheel tubs. All we do is screw it up. But definitely would need a beater. And if I do a metal floor, we'll have to put beads in the floor. So that's just a matter of figuring out what once we get the body really where it's going to be the situation on the floor.
So what's happening with the body?
The body, okay, it's ready to be shipped. The guy who the manufacturer. He's had to leave for an emergency, so he's going to be gone until next week. And we already have the shipper, and down there in LA, and he's already talked with the guy, and so he's just waiting for him to get back, and then it should be shipped. So probably in a week or 2, we should get the body. And now, went and cracked down and bought a motor from Summit.
Which is the blueprint, right?
Yeah, Blueprint 350, and it's on its way. I got an email yesterday from Summit saying that the shipment from their warehouse out of Ohio. So it should be here maybe first of next week.
Oh, and then I see you.
Yeah, and they tacked that on just to kind of get some ideas how that's going to go with that. The brake pedal situation yet is in the unknown because of the floor and the body. So, but it's just kind of there to see where, if it'll work in that position or if it's got to go up, or, you know, I have no idea yet until we get the body. Because we know the firewall's going to be in here someplace.
Oh.
And then, of course, the door front's going to be in here someplace. So that's, who knows yet where all that's going to sit. But it's just in there temporary.
So that pretty much catches us up, right?
Right now.
All right, so this will be the end of this segment, and we'll be moving on. And we noted that today is February 15th, and March 21st was, or March 20th or 21st was the first day of spring when we actually started the project with the beginning of part 1 that's on YouTube. So we're almost a year into this, but there's been a hell of a lot of work done. And there's a hell of a lot of more work to do.
It's just now started.
So, signing off. See you later.
Okay, see you later.
Hello, today is February 22nd, 2023. And this is the next segment of Lou Buitrago's Anglia Street Rod Project, Part 3. We said the last time that we ordered a beater, which has come in, and Lou fabricated a stand, welded it all up, and painted it nice and pretty. So that machine is there and ready to go. And then we got to thinking and researching and decided that Lou, being the guy who's pretty capable at making different types of machinery, we're going to manufacture our own slip roller. And Lou, you want to talk about it? These are
I have a lot of scrap material, so might as well put it to work. And these are going to be, they're made out of aluminum, and I'm going to use these for the side plates. And then I have some cold drawn seamless tube, so I'm going to use these. I got 3 pieces of this stuff, and I'm going to use this to make the rollers.
And do you clean those up in a lathe?
Yeah, everything will be cleaned
you
up.
take a cut on the lathe to sweeten it up.
And polish it up.
Make them shiny.
It'll be something like that.
Okay.
And then, of course, this will go this way. And then I got some Acme thread coming.
Good.
For the screws to bring the top roller down. And I also got some bearings coming, so I'm waiting for that. And I'll have 1-inch shafts going across. So that ought to, you know,
good.
For having stuff laying around compared to buying one for $600, you know, might as well use the junk I got laying around.
Yeah, and this will increase the probability that we might do a sheet metal floor inside the car instead of wood.
Yeah,
or minimal use of wood.
It all depends. Oh, yeah, and then, of course, the big news today is the motor came.
Ah, look at that.
It's all crated up, and the trucking guy was very nice to bring it into the house, or into the garage for me, instead of just dumping it off out there in front, and right under the hoist. Yeah, so we'll uncrate that. And then the other good news is the body is either going to get shipped Friday or Monday. That's all ready to go down to LA. So probably we're finally getting things going here. And
and I mentioned in the last segment that we're approaching March 20th, which will be 1-year anniversary. When we started out with those red lines on the floor and fabricating a straight front axle.
And then plus that also, everything that last year was added on to the back of the garage.
Yeah.
So
we're doing good. Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna
a lot of stuff in the year's time.
I'm gonna pause the video and pick it up later after we uncrate the engine and take a closer look at it. Hi, we're back. We got it partially uncrated and unwrapped, and it looks very impressive. Some of the things that we noted is that these aluminum heads are drilled both for the vortex heads, which are the vertical bolts here and there, and as well as the Gen 1, which is what we've got for the manifold. And this engine has roller lifters on the cam. You can see that they're held in place with a double D shape and these retaining brackets. Blueprint casts their own block, so it's a brand new block. And in the casting, their literature indicates that they actually put more meat in the casting so that you can actually overbore it even more if you want than a standard Gen 1 small block Chevy. But let's see, everything looks neat. What we're going to do next is we got to go get an intake gasket set. The set we have doesn't have the end pieces, which we're going to probably use first instead of just putting a bead of silicone on the ends there and the other end there. In my small block Chevy days, what I usually do is I take this silicone rubber gasket on the ends, and on the block side I put Permatex number 3 and let the gasket set up so that it won't squeeze out. And then after it's dried and it's pretty much not movable, then I bead the gaskets both sides, and I bead the top of this with the silicone room temperature vulcanized rubber, classic RTV. Let's see, what else, Lou? Is the oil filter. They do a great job. I mean, notice that they even cap off the intake ports for
exhaust ports.
moisture, right? Yeah. So you got to remember where they are, you can't get them. So what we're going to do is we're going to assemble the intake manifold, and then we'll have clips to lift it up eventually. But what, you're going to put the transmission on before you drop it in?
Yeah. Well, I got to put the flywheel and all like this stuff on.
Yeah, so we got to do the torque plate, the flywheel flex plate. And let's see, what we could probably knock this side off to do the flywheel work, right? Maybe cut it.
So you can fit in there.
Cut it in place, right? Use it as a stand.
Yeah, just jack it, take it off of here and put it on the dolly.
Yeah. You know what? I can't see, Lou, if they have the double bolt arrangement for the 153, 168 different diameter flywheel plates and the different positioning. I only see one casting. Can't tell till we're underneath there. That means probably the starter will have the multiple holes where you can put it whatever holes are in the block to fit against the 168 tooth flex plate. When that gets together, then it will be time to lift it up and put it in the frame. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, the missing bolts from the base plate of the Holley carburetor came in. Lou has installed those and torqued those up. So the carburetor is basically ready to go. And that's about it. Lou, anything else?
That's about it. Get this thing all assembled and put it in here.
All right, so we're making good progress. And what we do have word that the body is definitely going to be loaded on the truck and shipped out either Friday or Monday of this week. So that's another plus. We got a bunch of stuff coming together. And in the meantime, let me show you this. Blueprint, one of the things that's nice about Blueprint is that when they assemble the drawing of the engine, they take the engine and they run it on the dyno. And they advertise that particular engine at 347 horsepower, blah, 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 torque. But here's the dyno sheet that came with it. And as you can see on the dyno, it peaked out at 368 horse and 405 foot-pounds of torque. Plus, this is relatively flat, drops off at the higher end, which shows that the cam is more for, torque on the lower end, which is all right. Not too bad. Not too bad. So anyway, at this point, I'm going to close this segment and we'll catch you all later. Bye. Again.
Good morning.
Hey, it's February 26, 2023, Sunday, and we're going to do another segment for the Lou Buitrago Anglia Street Rod project. And as you know, if you've seen part 1, 2, that's the old guy Lou. Let's come back and see what we're doing on the engine, Lou. Okay. All right, when the engine came in, I guess it was last Monday, it was well packed and stored, and we decided to keep it on the bottom half of the crate and then knock out the pieces to get access to what we needed to, which would be the front for the harmonic balancer and the pulleys, and on the back for the flex plate for the B&M Hydro, the TH350. So what's happened is Lou has installed the intake manifold. This is our first time with aluminum heads for both of us. Being old, we're used to cast iron heads, and there's some obvious differences. First in is Lou, point out what on the water jackets.
Yeah, the bolts. These are shallow bolts compared to regular heads. And so these bolts here are 1.5 inches, and then these are 1.25 inches. The holes aren't, they're drilled real shallow on the water jacket side.
Okay, so you had to get 2, 4, 6, 8 less length bolts for the water jackets. And let's see. Okay, on the manifold gaskets, I mentioned the last segment that an old way that I used to do it, and Lou did, was we Permatex 3 the bottom side of the end rubber gaskets, and when it was dry we used silicone rubber on all the rest of the gaskets, upper and lower, and on the top only for the end points, and come down. Another thing we found out and checked before we did this was the torque rating for putting a manifold aluminum or iron into an iron head is 30 foot-pounds, but the bolts going into an aluminum head are only 25 foot-pounds. You got to be careful. While I'm looking at it, I had mentioned in an earlier segment we had to ground the huge bell down to fit the lower radiator hose, and you can see there where it's been ground down. Pulleys have been installed. We found out that the alternator in that position, the belt that came with the pulleys, is a little too short. Probably the intent was the alternator is mounted down low under the bottom side of the block down there. So we got a belt coming, a longer belt, because we want to keep it up top. And then another thing on the aluminum heads is that you'll notice that this doesn't fit quite right, because the aluminum head seems to be a little shallower. Doesn't come out as far apparently as the iron heads. So when we get the belt to fit, Lou's going to make a spacer and move this out a little bit to have a better alignment, and we're waiting on the belts, which might come in even today. Let's see. Small stuff has been done. We've got the vacuum takeoff point where this will go to the vacuum distributor, and this will go down to the power booster, the brake power booster. We've ordered valve cover breather caps from Amazon. They're expected to fill these 2 holes. And this is the distributor hold down clamp with a plug until you put the distributor in. So, well, the flex plate's on. The usual problem with getting the correct socket to fit between the crankshaft and the bolt circles. But that's all done. It's all torqued. Looking pretty good. Handsome looking.
Yeah, this is a pretty motor.
Yep, it's gonna look good. So, having talked about that, the next thing is we're
Our other project.
yeah, we're looking at the other project that Lou works on in between, and that's the slip roller that he's designed and fabricating. Let me get around the other side here. So, Lou, take it away. What we got?
Okay, this is going to be this is one of the side plates. Then these bearings will go on the here like these, and then the two bottom rollers, and then there'll be another bearing piece that's going to go in here with the top roller, and this one here will go up and down, and there'll be a jack screw in there pushing that down, pushing the other roller down. So it'll be something like that. And then here's one of the shafts that I've kind of made, and then as I'm using 2-inch rollers with an inch and a half ID, I made some sleeves. These will go, this will press into the roller, and then the roller will be on here, and then I'll weld this to the roller. And then the shafts will be, probably end up welding the shafts onto this too, because you won't have to take them out. Well, it all depends. I could pin them if you ever wanted to replace the shaft. I definitely have to replace the shaft.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
there's the rollers, huh?
yeah, those are rollers. They'll be, you know, once I get everything put together, then I'll put it in the lathe and polish them up. And go like that. And these are going to have to be turned just a skosh, so they'll press in.
So,
Yep.
how are these two going to be tied to each other?
Well, they'll be I'm going to have be like about like that. Then I'll do is I'll tie a piece across here to hold them together.
Okay, and that looks like about, what, 2 feet?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a spread of about 24 inches.
Yeah, big, yeah, about 25-inch spread.
Okay, so that looks like that'll be plenty. More than enough to do wheel tubs
Yeah,
and whatever else we come up with. And there, of course, is the bead roller that we talked about, too, also the last time. So, any news on the body?
Okay. Okay, the body now is being on hold because of super bad weather in LA. Evidently, the guy who manufactures the bodies, he's outside of the city where he lives because of
EPA.
the laws on the pollution stuff,
EPA.
using fiberglass and all the chemicals. So his shop is out of town, and it's kind of up in that area there where all the snow and everything is hit.
So that's
the rig can't even get up there to get everything, you know, loaded up to a rig.
So that's 2 bad weather delays in
Yeah.
California that we've
Yeah.
experienced with the body.
Yeah,
But hopefully,
it's all done, but you know, it's ready to come down, and even the trucking company, they let me know that they can't get to it yet. So
okay.
that's the problem there.
Well, I think with that, we're about to close this segment, and I think I got enough segments to put together part 3 and put it up on YouTube for any of you that are interested, have been following us. So thank you once again for watching our videos and following us on the progress. And that should be it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.